Hi guys, in this video I wanted to talk about counter steering on your Royal Enfield and why it's important to counter steer going into bends correctly. Now again, I don't want to be condescending with this video, and most of you will be riders for some time and you'll be very experienced and you'll be quite capable on your bikes, and this video probably won't be for you. Now, counter steering, a lot of videos out on the internet about counter steering. Counter steering is applicable to every type of bike that you ride, whether it's a push bike, motorbike, big touring bike, whatever. At very slow speeds it's not applicable, but anything above 5-10 kilometers an hour you need to counter steer. Now, counter steering, when you first see it, or when it's first explained to you, it goes against everything that you think you should be doing when you ride a bike. For instance, counter steering, if I want to turn right, you would think I would turn the bars to the right to go right, so I'm turning that way. If you want to turn left, you would think you would turn the bars left to go that way. Well, that's applicable if you're going really slow, but when you're riding at any speed, to turn left, you put slight pressure on the right bar, so effectively you're turning the bars to the left, which you would think you would turn left, and if you're turning left, you push the left bar, which effectively would turn the wheel to the right. Now, on this demonstration, you're probably thinking, well, that's not correct, it doesn't work. Everybody counter steers without realising they're doing it. So if I push on the left hand bar, it's going to slightly turn the wheel to the right, so it's going to do that effect. And what that actually does, as you intuitively counter steer, as you push on your left bar slightly forward, and I'll demonstrate this, I'll take the bike out in a minute and I'll try and show you some video of this in action. If I push slightly on there, I'm going to turn the wheel towards the right. You would think you would turn right, but what that does in effect, as you make that very slight turn to the right, it drops the bike over to the left. And as you do, subconsciously do that, as the bike drops to the left into a lean, that's how you turn, and then you go into the motion of turning. So there's not so much of a turn of the front wheel unless it's a really severe turn. So you push right, the bike drops left, you correct the line of the bike, you're already leaning, so you're turning. So the steering in effect doesn't turn the bike, it's the lean of the bike that turns the bike over. Same on the right turn. If I'm going to go right, I want to push right, which will turn the bike wheel slightly to the left. It'll throw the geometric line of the bike, the centrifugal line of the bike out. The bike will want to drop to the left hand side. As it drops, without knowing it subconsciously, you turn the wheel to straighten it. This is only very, very minor, it's only light pressure needed to do this. Once you've pushed on the right bar to go right, the wheel in effect, the front wheel of the bike, slightly turns to the left hand side, which in your mind subliminally you think you would turn left, but it doesn't. It drops the bike into a right hand lean. You correct that slight push that you've put on it, so your wheel is straight, and now you're actually turning. Everything about your position on the bike is taking it into a right hand turn. But to throw the bike off its line that it wants to do through centrifugal force, the bike wants to stay straight. The bike wants to run straight, and the only way you can turn your bike is to drop it into a lean. To drop into a lean, to go right, you push right, the bike drops into a right hand lean, you straighten, you go around the bend. Now, if you use this technique, and you mentally use this technique, and I mean purposely do this when you're out on the road, don't go mad and push on either bar, but when you're out on the road, I'll show you on a video in a minute, but when you're on the road, take a gentle push on your right bar, very, very gentle. You can have your hand on the throttle with two fingers so you're still accelerating. Push slightly on that bar and the bike will drop quickly to the right hand side, you'll turn right. Push slightly forward on the left hand bar and you go left. It's just laws of physics and laws of geometry that actually do this, but it's very, very useful once you know you're doing that, because most people run wide on bends, and the reason they run wide on bends is your mental attitude is telling you to steer one way, to steer the other way, and you're fighting against the natural physics of the bike to drop into the bend. Once you realise, certainly on twisty roads, that if you push right, you go right, if you push left, you go left. Next time you take your bike out and you're on a twisty road, just try it. You'd be surprised how quickly the bike flicks into a bend either way, just by a very slight push on either bar. Another thing that does counter steering without you realising it is steering your bike in such a way that you're counter steering with your weight on the bike. Now, most sports bikes, if you're turning right, you would hang off the seat and you'd get over and you'd lean in, so you're putting all your weight over to this side, so you're turning right. Effectively, by doing that, you're keeping the bike more upright in the turn, and you're throwing your weight off the bike. This can also cause problems with low sides. If you take the bend wrong, you get the wrong line, you're hanging off the bike, the contact patch on the front and back wheel is very minimum, there's a lot of weight pushing into the bike, you're on a lean, you can get a low side and the back end can slip away. A lot of riders who ride off-road bikes, instead of hanging off in this fashion off the bike and into a turn, they will push the bike the opposite way. And what you do when you push the bike the opposite way is subliminally you're counter steering. So to push the bike the opposite way, we're going into a bend that way, over to the right, and your body is directly above the contact patch on the ground, and the weight is pressing down directly onto the tyres, giving it more pressure on the tyres. Now the only problem with this method, it's a method I use quite a lot on my off-road bike. If I want to go around the right hand bend, I'll be in this position. If I want to go around the left hand bend, I'll be over here somewhere, keeping my weight over. By doing this, the bike leans more than hanging off the bike, so the bike is over to a more of a lean angle than it would be hanging off the bike. The only good thing about it is you're keeping more weight on the contact patch because your vertical weight is directly over the weight of the tyre. We'll take the bike out and I'll show you this method of counter steering with putting a bit of weight either side, and let you see how it actually works. And next time you take your bike out, just try it gently either side, pushing to see how the counter steering works and give you a mental map of how it is actually working on the bike. This will then help you when you go into a series of twisty roads, get a good line on the bends and understand better how you steer around the bends, and it'll make you a lot safer rider. Again, I'm not trying to be condescending, I know most people have ridden for years and they know how to ride, but most people still don't understand how counter steer works. Even if you don't know you're doing it, you're pushing right on the right lever to go right, and you're pushing on the left lever to go left. Anyway, I'll leave it here and I'll get out on the bike and film a bit more video and let you see counter steering in action.
Hi guys, you can see we're out on the open road now. It's a single track, so there's not a lot of room to manoeuvre, but you can see as I'm pressing right and left on the bars and right, you can see the bike's dropping into a lean in that direction. So as I come up to a bend, if I press on the left lever, we'll roll round to the left, and if I press on the right side, just gentle pressure, we'll roll round to the right. Very, very effective. Another right hand bend coming up, so if I push on the right now, you can see it's quite a bend this, so it's taking it around to the right. Again, pressure on the right lever sends you right, pressure on the left sends you left. And what I'm going to do in a minute is take control with both hands back on the bars. You can see the movement left and right there, and these bends are quite severe bends on this road, so I'm going to speed up now and take these bends holding both the grips, and I'm consciously making an effort to push either on the right bar or on the left bar as we go around the bends. And you'll be surprised if you try this method how easy it is to take a bend and how quickly your bike wants to go around the bend. A lot of you guys out there will probably have trouble and running wide on bends and being a bit frightened of bends, but once you consciously use this method and know how to turn correctly, you'll find that your cornering is a lot better and you'll feel more confident in your cornering. Anyway, if this video has been useful, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll get more tips and videos out to you in the very near future. Again, thanks for watching.